Fucking Goof Central all day long. Everywhere I'm going. I'm in here for a tube. These little T-fittings. I use them on the car. So, check this shit out. This place is a circus. I have an anxiety attack as we speak. Alright, I'm out of that place. That was just too much. And this place, I don't know. It's just total goof overload. I almost just got run over by this woman who's gonna pull in next to me. She really needed to get to a parking spot. So, that's my story. And we're gonna be heading back to the shack. Continue working on the A4. Check back in. I figured just this can focus. The point of this adventure today is to get this boost gauge working in the A4, and then we'll turn off that airbag light. It keeps turning on because of a loose connection under the passenger seat, or corroded connection, I don't know. And then, you know, you plug it in and you go through the coating and it just keeps coming on. But yeah, this is what we're about. You know, I'm just gonna head back to the shack, eat, and then hopefully get this working. It's just after 3:30 and it's been getting dark around earlier. You know, the fucking winter is coming and it's not fun. So, all right, we'll check back in a bit. If Pug One was here, he could have that washing machine for his loop-de-loops and ramp jumps and shit. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so we're back at the shack, and got some tools to put the boost gauge in the A4, vacuum lines and so forth. What we got to do is we got to, let's see, I made this little thing, as you saw in the other thing. I mounted it in this vent here, so I got to remove this shit stain here, and we'll fucking this piece, and then we can run the vacuum line out. Yeah, I know there's VW rims on the Audi. Through into here, through the firewall, through this area. We'll tap into a vacuum line. I'm using the one on the fuel pressure regulator, but I think I might change to here. But maybe just for testing purposes, I'll leave it where it is. And that'll be that. And so we'll check back in a little while. It's probably going to be dark by the time I'm done. But I just woke up a few hours ago, so... Alright. We don't want the Jetta to get jealous. Why is the light on? Alright, light's off. Okay, back to work. Alright, so we're going to remove this cover so we can tap, have a line come through, and then we'll tap it through one of these little... Come on. Why isn't it focusing? It's just not going to focus. Alright. Through this thing here, this little turtle head right here, and then yeah, that'll be it. I don't know why this car didn't come with a boost gauge. I can't complain too much. This car was only $500, man. $500 for this. I don't know. It just needed the it's dirty, but it just needed the computer reprogram for the transmission. And I have all that on hand in the shack, so that wasn't a big deal for me. Alright, back to work. Alright, so now we gotta get this bolt out and whatever. No, not this one in here. He's back. It's over there. Yeah. Come on. There you go. Alright, let me get back to work now. Alright, one thing you should know is that I drilled a little hole here inside of the vent. Turn this down. And that's where I'm going to run the vacuum line and the power line for the light inside of the gauge. Then I'm going to take this piece of wire to fish it through that hole so I can bring the line through without having too many problems. And then, I don't know if you can see it. And then what you do is you just use the wire as a guide for the tube, potentially. It can always get snagged and fuck up if you don't put it on here properly. But you see I can feed this through now. And then, look at this, if it works. Because it's getting caught up on something I don't want to pull this tube off of here. It's hard to do this. I don't even know if you can see anything. There you go, I'm sorry. So then, you know, see, it pulled off. Let me try again. Let me pause this and try again. Let's try again. You know what, let me turn this music down because I don't want my video to get flagged by YouTube for copyright infringement because there's a soundtrack on. Shit dicks will fuck up the program here. Alright, so now we're going to try again. I'm getting caught up on something here. This is really silly. There we go. Alright, so if you see it, once again, I don't know if you can see anything I'm doing. There it is. So let's try once again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this just so I can do this with two hands because it's, you know, this is like one of the more cheesy brands of boost gauge to use. Sun Pro, Chinese, whatever the shit it is. And but this is all just a test fit because eventually what we're going to do is we're going to take, you know, we're going to do this better, have a better gauge with a better vacuum line. Just testing it out because I'm going to also replace these vents. These are old school ones. I'm going to get the newer ones that have the lights on here, so I'll have to run the power. You know, it'll be different. There'll be a plug here on either side. So these will be illuminated at night. You know, this shit just fell off of here. That sucks. But it'll, you know, it'll be cool, or I don't know. Who knows, but I will just like it. You know, that's all that really matters. Alright, let's get back to work. We're going to fish this through now up through the bottom of the computer, the box where the computer is, and then out through a little turtle head thing, which is just a vacuum tube, you know, an area to add an expansions or changes to the car. And then we'll move on from there, and then we'll do the power wire through here the same way. And then I'll show you how to tap it in. Like I said, this isn't a professional job. This isn't the best job in the world. I'm not doing this with the best materials or any of that kind of shit. You know, we're dealing with a $500 car we brought back from the dead, and we're just goofing around, seeing what we can do to get a boost gauge in here, and then we'll move on from there and, you know, clean everything up after we do the test fitting and so forth. As you can see, you know, I'm filming this all with a cell phone, but here it is. I fished it through from the other direction, and here's the tube now. So what we'll do is we'll cut off that turtle head there, and then we'll fish it through there, across this. I know it's dirty in there, but, you know, that's for another time. And there's another shit dick fucking thing over here we can go through. And, you know, that's it. Alright, so we'll check back in. After we tap it in, we'll hook it up. Well, I'll show you where to hook it up. And I tapped it into here. So, you know what I'll do is, before I clean anything else up, dropping everything here, let's put the knife away, obviously. And then we'll start it up and just see if it works before I button anything up. And then when we get the new illuminated vents, we'll redo this with better materials. So let's just see. That shit everywhere. I'm gonna want to break up my legs. Oh, I think I just broke something now. Anyway, so let's take this. What we'll do is we'll pop the little gauge out of this housing. Sorry, you can't see anything. I'm going to pop the gauge out of this housing, and then I'll start her up and we'll see how it works. Start it up and see how it works. Just stick this somewhere for now, just so I can use both hands. Now we gotta check for vacuum leaks. It looks like it works. Doesn't look like it does any boost though. There we go, I heard a little bit of it. I don't know, it looks like this car's making too much vacuum. I don't know. Alright, so that's basically it. We'll check back in when it's all back together. Alright, so all the screws are back in. The cover's dirty under here, I'm sorry. But I tapped into here, into the fuse box, and got power for the light and ground. And turn that off for a minute. It's hard to see, the light is pretty it's red though. And that light sucks. I'll have to get a better light. I just bought some bullshit from Radio Shack. But that's it. So I don't know if it was as informative even remotely. I can turn this down, I'm sorry. If it was even remotely informative. But well, it's pretty ghetto, but like I said, this is just a test for when I replace this whole thing. I'll have a better one in here. It'll be totally different. Alright, that's what I did today, so I gotta fix that airbag light from under the seat and then clear the code. Alright, so that's it. Boost gauge install and vent, Audi A4, 1999. Pretty crummy job, but whatever. Alright.